Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more BTS America's action here, of course, powered by Squarespace. In addition to Face It Pro League, G2A.com, and of course, Alpha Draft. I am KotLGuy here representing Beyond the Summit, but I don't have to go at this cast alone. I got my good buddy back in action here, joining me remotely, the one and only from Root Gaming, Root for Root. I've been playing with their team a lot this week, and Fluff himself. We are what you may consider now overthrow champions. Fluff, thank you so much for joining me in TeamSpeak right now. Your microphone is still muted in the TeamSpeak, so if you're there and you hear me, unmute that microphone and speak to me. If you hear me. Oh, this is on push to talk. Hey, Fluff. Sorry, listen, I had this big old hype introduction, and I forgot that on my TeamSpeak, I had it on push to talk, so I just rambled on. You didn't hear anything I said. I was hyping up how we're overthrow champions, and I was building you up to be the best ever. Sorry about that, my friend. Anyways, welcome to Leviathan versus KotLGuy. Now, coming into this matchup, Leviathan are huge underdogs. You're talking about KotLGuy being about an 80 to 85% favorite. Do you justify that? I mean, you got to go against them in the TI5 qualifier. Do you think they're that good in even this matchup against Leviathan?
10 seconds KotLGuy, I have a lot of inside information that they've been doing pretty well, like even outside of TI, like in scrims. Leviathan had a pretty poor showing at the qualifiers, and I would definitely say that KotLGuy has this like 90-95%, and that's being a little generous. I expect like a 2-0 from them. Okay.
Fair enough, fair enough. So here we are. Let's not wait any longer. Let's actually talk about the draft at hand here. We have Leviathan opening up. They get a hold of the ever so precious, very defensive and multitasking Winter Wyvern in conjunction now with the Clockwork, a recently Jenkins special for his off-lane hookup. And on KotLGuy, they put priority in that first pick and getting a hold of the Queen of Pain. But we already know Fluff. A lot of big options out there, still making their way through the first set of bans. A certain Bloodseeker stands out to me. How touchy is it? Like at this point, it's like you have only so many picks to work with, and it's like you got to make the best of it. And they make a choice here where they were going to go with Shadow Fiend. They are on Radiant side, so I really don't see why not.
I mean, well, like we already kind of know what type of profile these players will, like what kind of playstyle they're going to bring to the table, because we've seen like KotLGuy, they're obviously very big on team fight. Their style at the TI qualifiers was like reminiscent, not exactly Vici, but very fast deathball type of pushing style, so that's what I expect from them, and Shadow Fiend's one of the best at that. For Leviathan, you expect more of a brawling type of playstyle, more gank oriented. But personally, I feel like KotLGuy has the advantage in that regard. But we'll see what happens. And as far as the Bloodseeker goes, I don't think you need to pick it up too early. They don't have like many good indicators to take it, besides the fact that it's gonna crush Clockwork. But I mean, it's gonna crush most of the heroes anyway.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with the Wyvern pick, and then. Like with the Tusk and the Spirit Breaker banned out, like Clock's one of the more solid offlaners left in the pool, so they're kind of just valuing that. And I'm sure they don't really want to go for the Pudge, especially in a game 1 versus like the TI NA champions. So yeah, I mean, I guess going into this, I kind of expect a good, like they're gonna look for matchups that they can throw up against the Shadow Fiend. Maybe like I'm not sure if they like TA. I know they're big fans of Lina, big fans of Storm, so something like that for them, I think.
Shibby used to play a lot of frickin' Brew back in the day when Brew was a big thing. He made quite a name for himself just being one of the top NA Brew players for quite a while, but he also admitted that he had to play it so much that he didn't really enjoy it anymore. But gone with the days of Brew, we just don't see that hero as much anymore. But you're right. I mean, you're kind of stuck with only a couple options out there to kind of contest Shadow Fiend at least as best as possible. TA was something you threw out. Wind Ranger is something else teams go for. Maybe I was going to say mid lane Lina, but that had already been banned. So you're looking at limited options here for not only Leviathan's mid lane, but also Moon's pickup here. And it's funny that they banned out the Spirit Breaker first. That was the hero that they just unmercifully whipped EGX. I was out that series, but I heard about it, and it was over in like 6 minutes. I'm like, well, I'm sorry for whoever had to fill in for me. They didn't really get a whole lot of airtime, but that team got spanked, Fluff. I don't know how else to say it, but they banned it out themselves, and they're still waiting on what could potentially be their off lane. I mean, we don't know. Maybe even I imagine this is probably going to be then a Queen of Pain off lane if they're going to get the Shadow Fiend. I actually didn't even think of that.
I think that it's most likely going to be a Queen of Pain safe lane Shadow Fiend mid type of secret playstyle here. the Queen of Pain, the advantage of the Shadow Fiend plus Queen of Pain is that you get your late game right click potential out of your mid, so that you can kind of counterpick your safe lane with Quap. And the good thing about her is she counters a lot of offlaners in general. Like Clockwork's gonna have a pretty hard time dealing with her, especially with the support there. So they're gonna get a one lane there, and it opens up room for their second support to maybe protect SF or stack for him, or potentially dual lane. There's a lot of options for them there. But talking about their Dazzle pick here, pretty good pick. Like if you think about how Leviathan's gonna take a fight, they kind of have to go into Complexity's lineup, and with the Dazzle plus the Shadow Fiend and the Quap already, that's a significant turnaround potential.
Yeah.
A lot of magic damage burst, and Lion, Clockwork, Wyvern aren't necessarily the most tanky heroes, and they're gonna have to go for ganks and not so much the team fights at this point in the draft.
It's also it almost feels very single target heavy on the side of Leviathan. You got Lion going after one, Stun Sex, Finger, obviously, Clockwork, hookshot in, leads off, and there's so much hate on that one person. It kind of makes it almost easy for Dazzle to know when to have that Grave ready to go. It's like, and it's Grave time. And if they try to follow up with anything else, it's like, well, shit, we just blew a Finger after Clock jumped in, thinking that there was no Dazzle hiding there in the fog, and that's when that turnaround happens that you're talking about. So I agree with you. Rubik is also still out there. A notable good second support that maybe Complexity could go for. Very good against the Clockwork. A 4-staff candidate. His telekinesis works well in conjunction with the cogs as well. And we'll see if they go for it here. But PL was the next grab for Leviathan. The Shredder pick here. Temporarily a mid-phase ban, but it managed to slip on through, and Leviathan snag it up here, Fluff. And they don't have to worry about something like a Winter Wyvern. They could still worry about an Earthshaker. How do you think about a Phantom Lancer as the fourth pick?
5 seconds remaining.
I think PL might not be the best carry here, just because Queen of Pain and Shadow Fiend have a lot of ways to isolate the correct target and also burst them down. And Queen of Pain also has a natural progression. If she chooses to go for the Orchid route, she can pick off the PL before he has Manta, and there will be a significant time there. And there's also, because they fourth picked it and Complexity had the last pick here in the second phase, they could have went with Earthshaker or Darkseer, which are both pretty good heroes versus the PL. So and they went for the Darkseer, and I think it's going to be really hard now that they've shown their hand for the carry. And I don't know if there's any like surprise mid picks that they can like catch Complexity off guard with. I'm sure it's going to be something pretty standard, but with what they have right now, I feel like they might kind of be outdrafted. Plus, they have to do something a bit surprising.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way as well, and you're highlighting it very, very well. And I agree, Darkseer adds a lot even to the laning phase. Any typical melee kind of a core is going to have to juggle that Iron Shell quite a bit, and they don't like that. And PL's one of them, and that means his illusions also are just going to be turned to nothing quickly. Whereas war with an Earthshaker, you're waiting till he gets that Echo Slam and gets online to the mid game, and then he's a big problem for someone like a PL. Darkseer could be a problem right from the get-go, and I like that. And the Surge obviously works, helps out in addition to the Dazzle, so they have that defensive capabilities there. And well, wall is a wall, and it's been buffed to beyond hell at 45 seconds. It makes it a good level 6 grab, so they have some good team fight to work with on top of all that. They do lack a little bit in the disable department, though, Fluff. I mean, they don't have any of it. So, I mean, they have plenty of slow. They have plenty of way to deal with counterfights. It's kind of like they could just, plot out and wait for their safe lane to just become a big nuisance and not look to take fights and be more of a counterfire here. And while you're saying they might surprise them with something, Fluff, a Tinker 5th pick is a little surprising to me, at least. I haven't seen this hero very often at all. It just seems like when in the right hands, though, can be a big problem. But what do you think about the Tinker here against Complexity?
Well, talking about what you said earlier with like them lacking disables, I expect Complexity to group up most of the time and just take towers as 5 or 4, and well, Tinker is probably a pretty good pick versus that type of playstyle, because you can expecting them to group up, you're gonna want like this heavy spammable ability that's gonna push out the waves, and Tinker is definitely gonna delay their timings somewhat, but I'm still worried that like I haven't felt the effectiveness of Tinker personally, like with anybody that I've played with or my friends, like being as big of a deal as he was in the past. And like, yeah, they're delaying it, but I mean, what are they delaying it for? Because I don't know if the PL is going to get fat enough. And I did cast the Leviathan series on my personal stream a couple of days ago, and they had a PL and he went for a pretty slow build, so I don't expect him to get ahead and continue with his advantage. He went for the drums and he tried to fight, and I thought it was a pretty awkward pickup for them. So I really don't want to see that from the PL. I want to see him go like for the fast, super efficient, accelerating build, and then maybe they can like outfarm or outplay complexity maybe, but still Tinker's just really awkward. But it's definitely good for the counter pushing aspects.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's good to deal with the fact that complexity are probably going to be grouping up
5 seconds
a lot,
remaining.
but they've been using the clock. They probably know what they want, and they're waiting to the last pick, or they have AFK'd. No.
Oh,
okay.
What?
Last second, an Ember Spirit coming
That's really
out here.
interesting.
This is pretty greedy now for the lineup they've already got.
Right.
Pretty elusive.
Okay.
But okay. What fill me in
complexity. Complexity is one of the only teams, I mean, probably in NA, but maybe in the world, like that go for the support co-op. Like they'll pick it up early and then say like, oh, maybe it can be a support. Like that kind of throws a curveball at them, or at the viewers and at Leviathan as well. They go for the Ember because like you said before, they really like the catch, and I guess they like Ember versus Tinker because without any way to deal with the Tinker, then he could go completely ham. But now switching up the Queen of Pain to the support role, they're gonna be able to have some way to deal with the Tinker. So I mean, there was a lot of options for them if they wanted to go for that Queen of Pain support route, but this is the one that they're probably more comfortable with, and there's a lot of synergy between their lineup with the pick as well, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think the first big time it stood out, PyCap played a support Queen of Pain for his team. I believe at the time was Team Tinker. I'm not too sure. I don't know if it was or maybe it was Alliance who was briefly on it. I'm not too sure either. But yeah, them, Complexity, one of the few that kind of want to give it a whirl here, and we'll have to see how it does in their matchup as they take on Leviathan. This is a round 2 matchup. Winner moves on forward into the semifinals, where already champions of Summer's Rift are waiting for whoever's going to come out with this best of 3. And remember as well, no double elimination. You lose your series, you are done here in BTS Americas, and you lose your chance in getting a hold of a sweet piece of 10K prize pool pie. And well, let's go ahead and lead off some introductions here. We got Complexity already on the early move here. They put Primary into scouting out, maybe hoping for a first blood, but they do dish out the ward to block the side pull. Zfric's going to be playing that support roaming, possibly Queen of Pain. We got Ziz, Louis. He's going to be playing your Ember Spirit. Shouts to Asia Moore, I'm sure, for that one. Also, we got Moon Meander, who is going to be playing your Darkseer. Fly is going to be playing your Dazzle. And then last but not least, we got none other than Swindlemelon's Fluff. He's going to be playing your Shadow Fiend. Fluff, would you please do me the honors and introduce Team Leviathan on your dire side?
Yeah, sure, I got this. We got Nusham on the line in the top lane. He started with the boots. We have Shredder on the PL, looking to block the top lane. Flying Zebra, their drafter on the Winter Wyvern. 5 hard support. Should be on the mid with his Tinker. And we have the infamous Jenkins on the off lane with his clock.
Infamous frickin' Jenkins. Even now, still receiving that respect pudge ban, because even though you kind of know what to expect, you really never do. And he's very good at being able to take his opponents out of that comfort zone. But now doing the classic, he blocks out, lets the range creep on through, and we'll get that creep wave close to the tower so we get that free mooch of XP for himself. But let's break down this mid-lane matchup, Fluff, a bit, because it's one we don't get to see very often. The Tinker going against the Shadow Fiend. Now, I just wager on paper that the Shadow Fiend comes out a bit on top in this. So what does Tinker look to do? Just dish out early lasers and try to just, you know, futz with them a bit so he can't get easy CS or easy harass?
Well, actually, Tinker can do quite well versus SF.
Okay.
Typically, like, you might see him level up laser to 2 at 3 and save a skill point for heat-seeking missile if he can get the kill, and he's gonna be throwing out the lasers every time that he wants to get a CS advantage, so he can like apply the mischance to the Shadow Fiend and maybe deny like a CS that he would have gotten.
They're making it go on the Moon top lane here. They let it with the Spirit Lance. They did connect with the stun from Nusham, but not enough of a follow-up there. Moon's gonna be fine. He'll step back and just have to pop his salve to get back into working order here.
Yeah, good. It's good harass too. They kind of need to do that, but now Moon is gonna get level 2, and that's trouble for them because they only have the Impale and Hex, and if with the co-op supporting him, it's gonna be kind of hard to burst down the Darkseer. So now he's gonna have like a lot of space in the top lane.
Let's go ahead and, I mean, this is going to be a hard lane to look away from Fluff. Even now, Moon Meander surges on in like he's going to do something about it, but uh-oh, has he gone too far? Arctic Burn is up and the stun. He's going to get slowed down quite a bit. He's going to try to eat his way through the trees, possibly. Walks on through. Centaur and Creep Wave into the convenience, plus a surge. Spirit Lance got him. Shredder going to be picking up the first blood there. Just kind of comes down south and cuts him off with a brilliant little Spirit Lance, and that's going to secure your first blood bonus to Team Leviathan.
Nice one. It seemed like a bit of an overextension there. Did he surge at the pole camp? Maybe he expected there to be a wave or like a connection.
He like surged all the way up from this side camp up to the pole camp, so by the time he came back, he was pretty much no more surge left, and that's when they kind of just dished out the easy stun setup and then the slow. It's bad timing for him to have to overextend, and well, he's going to have to take the long road. Or look at this, Fluff. It looks like they're going to do a bit of rotation. Moon's like, I'm just going to go work in the jungle. And, you know, Iron Shell does last a lot longer, so it does buff up his jungle blade quite a bit, and Z-Freak's just going to take over the off lane for now.
Yeah, I think they just they view it as something as more efficient for them. Like, they already know that there's no pull for Leviathan, and Quap's going to be able to just sit in the XP range, and if they split it between the two of them, it wouldn't have been too good. So Darkseer's probably going to join the top lane after he gets a couple more levels and then put more pressure on the PL, but with that blunder, I guess they just want to be more efficient with their time. Like, maybe if he didn't die.
This is in trouble. He's doing that dance. He's trying to move around the creeps to mitigate as much of this battery assault as possible. He got connected a few times here, but he's getting lucky on the back end of it. Here comes Fly, and he gets the Grave off. Jenkins is going to be forced to retreat. Oh, hope to get a connection with the bump right there, but not going to be happy. Pull back and away, but nice dance around there from your Ember Spirit Ziz, not allowing the battery assault to do too much work, and no RNG happened to be in his favor for that one, so he'll be able to step back and away. Fluff, I do feel like a bit of a fool here, as Swindle Melons is able to kind of catch back up. It was up to that point, though, that Shibby was up and ahead with the help of that laser. Sure enough, he's putting in some serious work. And he was reserving all those side points, but all of a sudden he's got level 3 March of Machines and drops it right here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of a skilled matchup as well. Like, the Tinker has to have pretty good mechanics to beat the SF, and I would say that the SF has an easier time. Like, you know, you just get level 5 and you start raising wave after wave. So you're unless you get killed in lane or you have like a lot of harass coming in from the supports, you're gonna do fine as the SF. So they're pretty much just gonna trade for him here. It looks like he understands that, so he goes for the March instead of saving points for the missile.
Sadly gone with those good old days of Tinker farming up ancient stacks with your...
Well, they're trying to set something up bottom lane. Maybe Surge the Ember.
Moon's on the scene here. Still level 3, about to get to level 4. Jenkins is like, something's freaking fishy here. I'm hanging by this tower.
I think he scouted it with his ward on the left side of the lane. So he's not going to get caught up by that, but that's a pretty interesting play. And it definitely could have worked if there wasn't a ward there.
Good on Leviathan, then. They do waste a little bit of Moon's time, just kind of plotting it out. He plays it very safe. Leviathan, nice little defensive start here. Their top lane continues to thrive a lot. Your lead CSer is Shredder, 29, now 30 and 5. We'll have to see what the buildup was. You said the last time was a drums, more fight-oriented build that didn't work out. Oh, Z-Freak tried to blink up and away, but the Hex was there. They followed with the stun. Do they have enough lockdown? They don't. That ridiculous range blink makes it away to the safety zone. And it's just some good footsie, good harassment. But, oh, simultaneous action bottom lane. They get the back into that. Jenkins goes down. They finally pull off that surge plate, it looks like, Fluff, and they push on forward, and they get the clockwork.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Something about this Darkseer, though, I kind of feel that after seeing what he's accomplished in the jungle and being in the bot lane, that he should have just went back top, because, like, yeah, he died for the first blood, but that was just him, like, overextending, like, really hard. I mean, he can apply so much pressure to the PL, and I feel like they lost a lot of opportunities for that. You already see that Shredder is number 1 on the CS chart. I mean, if anything, Quap should have just left them ganked mid or whatever if they didn't feel comfortable. But I feel like the Darkseer had a good time. He would have had a good time in the lane, so I think he's just kind of realizing that now.
Oh, they found Moon. He's running. He's got Surge. Nushim trying for a bloody block, but that ain't gonna be easy against this track star. So he's able to just sprint himself out from trouble. Very weak, though, has no consumables on hand, so you're kind of just waiting around hoping your ring is going to help you out a bit, or you do that long run of shame back to the fountain here. So Moon has been very mobile this game, a bit all over the place, so we don't look to him anytime soon to quickly get to his level 6 and maybe quickly get that mech if that's what he's shooting for. He's going to be put off just a little bit. Swindle's been on a recovery path in this mid lane. Tinker seems to be getting a bit more mobile himself, now farming up these jungle stacks here. He's going right for the boots of travel, I'd imagine. Though he does have a Belt of Strength on hand, unless I'm missing something. Oh no, I'm clicking on the wrong person.
Dyer's
He's going for
middle
Boots of
tower
Travel.
is under attack.
Yeah, it depends. I'm not sure what modern Tinkers do anymore, but he might go for the Soul Ring. But I mean, he has 900 gold, so it seems like he's just gonna skip over it. Some people like to get the Soul Ring and just rearm stacks and get the bots right after.
Oh yeah. Here dancing around, Z-Freak also only level 3, 2 points into his Shadow Strike and 1 into the Blink for now. But have to migrate back. Everyone's just kind of getting a bit frisky here. Exception of Shredder, of course, continues to farm him now, working the jungle. This gives time for Nushim on his Lion to get to his level 6. They want to get this level 6, I'm sure. Maybe go for a smoke, then try to put that finger to use right away. Ideally, also, this is some early income towards that Blink Dagger, the luxury Lion Blink Dagger. I'm sure he would love to grab. But
yeah, this is a very fast rotation by Shredder. He's not going to be able to jungle that too efficiently. I'd like to see a bottle if he's going to go for this play, because bottle allows you to spam Lance on camps, and it's kind of awkward as well because he's pairing with the Tinker. I definitely like the play to give Lion some levels, but the thing is that if Wyvern's not there, and you can see how he's positioned before Wyvern got to the lane, the Quap can actually pressure him pretty hard. So both of these guys need to show in the lane to pressure the Quap away so that the Lion can get the space that he needs to get his Blink and his level 6.
yeah, even the little level 4 Z-Freak is enough to kind of keep them in a very defensive spot. Maybe now that Ziz and Fly are off the map here, as they continue to rotate on through, it just seems to get them a bit nervous. But you're right, more jungle sharing happening here between both Shibby and Shredder, which does leave lanes kind of doing nothing here. Mid lane, just the creeps kind of hitting at the tower. No one really taking the XP. It looks like Shibby will hop in now. But both these teams just really go all over the place. Now we're seeing Fly and Ziz make the long rotation from bottom Fluff all the way up to this top lane. And maybe looking to back up Z-Freak with something here. And maybe make a go on Anushim if possible. But I don't know how easy that's going to be. He's been in that very passive position for a while.
Remnant, I'm sure they know that how he's been playing, because he's been backing in and out of that tree line for a while. So I think Z-Freak's kind of telegraphing that, and then Ziz can just jump over with his Remnant.
Shredder's here now, though. Do they go for him? No, they hop over him, and they want to go for Nushim. He's on the bottom side now, and they're looking to fish him off. It looks like they will. Poison, the last right click, though. Ziz, or the Flame Guard, rather, is going to get that one. And look at this. Mr. Jenkins rotates up in to the top lane. Hook shot in. Fly, though, has a brilliant grave, and Moon drops down the wall, and that's more than enough. Now, a Shadow Strike dodge with a Doppelganger, but Leviathan lose 2, and Complexity now going to be pulling ahead 3-1.
It really should have. There should have been a red flag when they noticed that there was a Darkseer forming bottom and not an Ember, because Embers can farm stacks, but it's not like amazing. And I mean, they should have expected something. Maybe they expected it on the mid or the jungle.
Swindle pops his Reki, and now Z-Freak jumps in thereafter with not much mana. Will be forced to pop the wand, but not going to be able to blink away. Gets caught with the Spirit Lance. Now look at this. Ziz jumps in, gets the double change. Nusha is going to be... Oh, they're both going to get taken apart. Nice cold embrace, but then Swindle shows up, pops one, and raises the other. And he quickly walks away with a double kill. Just what looked like Leviathan were able to scratch one back. They lose 2 more, and they might lose more than that. Fluff top lane. Shredder ring around the Rosie, trying to get away from this, but really can't do anything about it. Has no mana. Oh, that one last Doppelganger, but yeah, Ziz easily able to catch up and pursue him with the Remnant. Now he's up to a killing spree all of a sudden. Swindle gets that double kill. Complexity, mid lane. What is happening here? Swindle moves in, double raise on the Shibby, and he's got to get the hell out of there. But Complexity's suddenly turning it up, and they quickly claim what feels like 5 kills within the span of 2 minutes.
Yeah, and something interesting to note about Sonomelon's build is that I think it's because he's versus the Tinker, they don't really see themselves like wanting to group up too often, which they might have wanted to do if there was no Tinker. So instead of getting like a mech or whatever, he's gonna go for the Midas, expecting a long game, knowing that he can get away with this greed, and then you might see him pick up like a Blink or a Eels or anything, something like that, to be an additional force of picking off the Tinker.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Very good, very heads up. Anticipating that we're going to be going a bit of a long stretch here with the split push capability of your Tinker. He certainly can prolong it quite a bit, but Lexi now on the move here. Top lane looking to siege down what looks like our first tower of the game. And they're going to get a bit of extra chunk change. No glyph at the ready. And with it, they'll be able to kind of move on forward. Before they can head in, though, Leviathan quickly plant down some preemptive defensive wards to see if the rotations are coming, so they see this movement from Fly right now. If they converge onto the Lone Dazzle, I don't think they can. Shibby with no mana, have to step back, TP back to base to get some more mana. Fly's moving in with his own ward here. He's probably going to plop one right here and now. I'd imagine. There it is. And now they have their own bit of vision in the jungle side. So, well, it's good for them. Good intel. And another tower going to drop this one. Oh, bottom lane. Hold on. We're keeping heads up here. Shredder looks to move in, but will not follow up with anything. Z-Freak is on the scene. And it looks like we'll get back to a bit of a lull here, Fluff. But, all right, good movement. They take the tier 1 top. They blast a couple of wards down. And they continue to oppose Leviathan in their own woods.
Yeah, it just seems like with that 5th pick, I said that they needed something that could kind of like surprise complexity, but the Stinker is not really doing a whole lot right now.
Easy kill for Ziz on the Zebra right there. Roshan looks to move in, desperately gets out the finger, gets a kill for himself. It's just a trade of supports. Oh, Ziz gonna be next. He goes down. 2-for-1 trade. The cost of only Levi. Oh god, here comes Swindle. Boom! You're not going anywhere.
Nice.
Blows up Shibby right in his face. And look at the frantic pings. Like, what the hell was that? Oh, Jenkins catches him with the hook. Are you kidding me right now? Shredder jumps in, goes for the Lance. Oh, Doppelganger, one of his illusions are stuck, but they're able to follow it on up. And no, he's got a Shadow Blade, and they got no detection. See you later, nerds. Swindle's going to make it out A-okay, Fluff. 8-4. Complexity could have lost quite a pretty penny there, losing their precious Swindle, but not going to be happening.
Yeah, and it looks like Shadow Blade is his pickup, so pretty much they're just going to try to control the map with the fear that the Ember, the Quap, and the SF can just pick you off or do a significant amount of damage to you when you're trying to push out in the lanes, and that's pretty much what they have to do. It's a nice choice. That he could have either went the Blink Yules route or the Shadow Blade. I kind of like the Shadow Blade, so that's interesting. Oh, and we see the treads on Ember Spear. That's a very popular build these days, since people like kind of start to value his actual right click now.
Yeah. They're trading a bit down here. So he's going to force the double back here. He gets the help from Fly, heals up. Now Jenkins, no hook yet, needs 2 more seconds. And man, ever since that trade top lane, he bought himself some dust. Preemptively use it, not going to catch Ziz with the hook shot there. Oof. Leviathan not going to be able to get the catch they want. They hang around and wait here. They'll just kind of anti-push here. Meanwhile, they have their Shredder farming up the top lane. Same goes for Swindle, though, but hey, Swindle's like, let's check out what's happening over here. They're gonna run the Shredder. He is. Bops him with one raise. The second one's going to steal that tomato away. So Swindle's still kind of showing his dominance, even on the other side of the world here, Fluff. The bottom, they look to go in. Weave is going to fly out from Fly. Connects onto both. Beautiful vacuum sonic wave combo. Going to connect onto the 2. Now they're going to be able to take down Shibby. Jenkins very low. Still on pursuit once the battery assault is able to make it away. Fluff. Self-shallow grave. Fly is going to make it away. No, he's not. He gets smacked in the ass with a bat from Shredder, and he is going to go down. 2-for-1 trade. This time it's for Leviathan, but at the same time, Fluff, we have Swindle moving in this top lane and chunking down this tier 2.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as it looked because Shadow Fiend got a lot of space from that engagement, but I'm kind of questioning why they would go for a play like that. I mean, they don't have to do anything like that at all, and especially pushing to a Tinker bottom lane.
Yeah, they're going for Ziz here. They're getting frisky. Ziz was not able to connect with the chains, and now he's going to get fingered. Nushim laps his way away from that grab. Leviathan put another one on the board. Now 7-9, still advantage for Cole. And it could go higher. Oh, the wall not going to connect after the vacuum, but it doesn't matter. Shredder will be taken apart from the rest of that Ion Shell. Z-Frick actually going to get the last hit. And also, they will lose what looks like the bottom tower at that same moment. But 2 pickups for complexity, or actually just the 1 pickup, but they take down Shredder. Fluff. Prized PL going to be taken apart. They committed hard to get Ziz in exchange.
Yeah. I'm always really apprehensive about the Ember Spear pick these days. I know that Envy's been running a lot of it in his streams, but like if you look at how he's farming and how his item progression will move for the next like 10-15 minutes of the game, he's probably most likely working. He's definitely working towards a battle clear because they've been thinking that the Ember would be pretty good versus the PL, like a straight carry versus carry matchup because the battle clear can clear him out and all that, but like. When is he gonna get it? It's like I don't even know if he started the Voidstone or the Perseverance. Have you seen any of that?
No, I have not. I'm looking on him. I don't see much. I'm looking at their bird, and there's a Perseverance there. So I think that answers our question. They do have a Perseverance. It's on their extremely electric-looking Pokemon bird thing, but Back at Ziz, yeah, he has to wait to get it on his person, build towards that first Battle Fury. Then the farm starts accelerating, and we get to see where Ember's here can really soar. It's just been notorious around this hero that when you have a bit of a slow start or you get too involved and too action-packed and you lose a couple of lives, things can slow down quite a bit.
But the thing is that, like, he's gonna be fine though.
Yeah.
Leviathan's never. They're not gonna pressure the base in any way before that he's gonna build his items. Like, even if he has one Battle Fury and they try to push high ground, like he's gonna stint the entire aggression from Leviathan. So, like, he'll get his items no matter what. I didn't want to make it sound like that, but it's just really sad when you're playing Ember and you're like just thinking about your dream Battle Fury and it's gonna take so long because all you have is like Embracer and Bottle.
He's getting frisky. Oh, the zoning wall here. 45 seconds of do not pass unless they want to have to deal with themselves. And as long as they wait, Swindle is just happy to chunk down that tower, but here comes the March of Machines. It forces him to double back a bit. Swindle's like, it's my time. I'm going to go top lane, contest against this Nushim a little bit and get some solo farm here. And it looks like the rest of KotLGuy will also disengage. So they head over the woods now to across the other side. Let's take a moment now to look over the actual net worth of the game. No surprise to see Swindle there as king. Top net worth, about 11K to his name. Almost got his BKB complete. Man, he's grossly farmed. 3-0-0 this game. And then you got both Shredder and Shibby with your PL and your Tinker at number 2 and number 3. But there is a decent-sized disparity between them and the Shadow Fiend as it stands right now. But we look at Shibby Fluff, and this Tinker suddenly has 2,200 gold. He's starting to put together the farm pretty fast. Is this a cookie-cutter kind of Tinker game where you get your Blink, you get your Dagon, maybe an Ethblade later on?
I'd like to see a Hex just because, well, it depends on what the Ember builds, but because I know that NV goes for the BKB after Battle Fury, but I mean, typically you see like very greedy Embers go for double Battle Fury or even more damage like a Daedalus after the first one, and the Hex could be really good at shutting him down. But still, I don't think it's enough. It's just something that they kind of need.
Dirty Moon Meander. He just blocks the Ancient Camp. He's like, ah, while I'm here, we'll just not let it spawn again. Bye. So, able to walk out from that one, even though they have this ward here where they could potentially scout someone moving in and farming it themselves. They see Zebra there now.
Both feels confident. They have BKB just completed on Swindle and they just run in the roast bait because they know that they have mech, they have all this counter initiation. If Leviathan wants to come in, they're going to die and they'll kill it very quickly as well.
It's very apparent they know what's happening. They got this ward up here, so they start laying out the marching machines. They pull Roche away from said march. Try to get him out the front door. Oh, they move in.
Ooh.
Nice. Winter's Curse
nice play
from Flying Zebra. Got to get the quick snag there. Utilizes Swindle Melon to his own devices and has him kill down his comrade. And look at this. They're just saying, stay away from the pit. We got machines. Jenkins just hops on down.
Careful.
And they're looking to fight, but are they ready for it? Nushim going to get pulled back. Again, they burst him down. The poison and the urn should finish him off. Jenkins pops down his wall, runs to the other side and away here. And that looks to be it for now. Just the trade of Ziz and Nushim for now. Both teams very timid at this point. This Roche is low. They both want it. I still think KotLGuy are in a much better spot to fight. They have wall ready to go here on Moon. They still haven't even used Sonic Wave. Yeah. They have a lot of ammunition to work with here. Uh-oh. Shredder. He doesn't know it yet, does he?
Oh, he does know. He does.
He pinged
They ran past the sentry ops on the hill next to the
you're
roshan.
right. There's a sentry there now. Very nice. So he's able to retreat to a better position. Regroups. KotLGuy are like, we kind of need to pull back, but we don't want to because we got to be there for it. Both teams just kind of keeping tabs as far as who's going in there first.
A little bit of misplay from the line there. I guess it's because they didn't know BKB on SF existed, but once the BKB was swapped, there was no hope to fight. They needed to just back out immediately and then wait and hope that they could take a fight without the BKB and without the Ember, but because line went down, they couldn't pursue.
Oh man, they are in. They see Swindle now. And he heads to the high road here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
they're going to get it.
They're going to get it. They're going to get it.
Okay, now just stop and walk over the side and keep you out and leave.
Okay. Oh, KotLGuy wasted a lot of time just chilling and hoping and waiting for the right window of opportunity to kind of go in there and get something done. And Leviathan just able to kind of sneak that one right behind their backs.
That was such a huge play by the Wyvern. That all was possible because of that one Winter's Curse.
Top tower is under attack.
Taking Ziz out of the equation. Didn't allow this Ember Spirit to kind of dance in there a bit. Have the Sleight of Fist ready to go and possibly be a real nuisance with that Remnant. So with it, They sneak in, they get their Roche. Looks like, yeah, it's going to be on Shredder. So they're in control of like the momentum of this game, at least right now. If they want, they can start feeling a bit more flexible pushing these lanes, or we could see Complexity say, no, we're not about that life. We're not going to look to go passive here. We are ready to fight, confident enough even against your Aegis, but we'll have to see, Fluff, if that's the play or not. Do you think Moon is just going to go right for Guardian Greaves, or do you save that as a luxury pickup and instead opt for like a Blink Dagger or something?
I think he can just go for his next item and then go back for Greaves, because like the effectiveness of the Greaves, upgrading it right away is not too significant for their team. They're, like I said, they're not going to group up, especially versus Aegis, and like the utility of the Blink, they can cancel like Tinker and scout him out and all that. It's going to be good for them. He can go whatever he wants though.
One nice perk if he did decide, but it is a lot of... Okay, hold on. They scout out Fly here. Okay, they're moving in. They got the Phantom Lance. They got the Lucian stun combo. There's not much Fly can do. He just gets spotted, take it apart. They have that lane ward. Definitely supported them with that kill. They'll pull back and away. Z-Freak up to the north. Little TP away from the trouble here, and that's just another pick right here for Leviathan. Now, Complexity are still farming in ahead. They've got a 5k XP advantage with a 7,500 net worth lead. Still lots of towers for Leviathan to take at this point. They've only taken the one bottom one. So they have this top tier one they're going to look to break down. Do Complexity look to defend this and fight? Moon's ready with the wall. Sonic Wave on Z-Freak. I think they might have to let this one go.
Yeah, it seems like they won't dazzle TP mid. Ziz picked up his Battle Fury. That's pretty big for them, and that's a big reason why this game feels so like even, is just because Ember kind of needs that Battle Fury. Like, yeah, he has the Sight of Fist and his Searing Chains, but overall, you want to see that Battle Fury on the hero, and he's only going to get stronger from this point. And comparing the lineups, like Leviathan is supposed to be excelling at these little skirmishes that they're having. So, and also to be fair, Complexity was kind of running into them and giving them opportunities. They didn't really have to do that if they didn't want to. So, I still feel like there's a heavy advantage for Cole going into the late game.
Hey, you can't. One foul play could be one too many. You really never know in this kind of game. And there's no lower bracket to come back from. And when you're training for the biggest event in the world, I mean, after BTS Americas, I mean, it's pretty much time for TI5. I'd imagine you want to eliminate as many missteps as possible, because other teams that may not be Leviathan and maybe your, you know, Vici Gaming or whoever, they're gonna take full advantage of those little missteps. Maybe just
definitely.
Maybe just overanalyzing it a bit, but I imagine Complexity are looking to take everything very seriously at a very important time when they got that kind of invite. So now Swindle moves through under his own darkness here. Viz now goes Shadowblade, hunts to the top. Most of Leviathan, though, congregated at this mid lane here. Looks like they want another tier 1 tower. They want more money. Jenkins is just going to see if he can maybe line up a hook shot here. Thought maybe he would have been ballsy and gone for Ziz right on that return remnant, but looks like he's going to just double back for now.
You know, this series is kind of reminiscent of the series I casted with you earlier with the Way 2 stack. A big part of this game is going to be reliant on how good this Wyvern's ulti is. I mean, you saw in the Roche Pit engagement how quickly the Ember died, and Ember doesn't typically get any tankier, especially when there's a Shadow Fiend in the game that's hitting as hard as he does, and he's probably going to get a sick progression. Like, he already just purchased the Eagle Song right now. Like, if he gets a nice Winter's Curse on the Ember Spirit, and then like it frees up the PL to just run in and create a mass illusions, it could be troublesome. But again, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the Wyvern to perform here.
Such a great ult. Playing that hero earlier in pubs, and just the way you can it just scales great into the game as long as the other team scales, so why not utilize it? Plus the long range lockdown, regardless of BKB or not, can't hate on that. Here we go, Swindle now scouting on through, hoping for maybe any stragglers to cross his path. He's going to head right up towards the Secret Shop side. No one there, no one farming Ancients. He doubles back. I mean, Leviathan have just fully gone Boy Scout here, Fluff. They are doing the buddy-buddy system like no one else. They have like a rope attached at the hip. They're not looking to kind of have any stragglers, not looking to give any freebies here to Complexity. They want to make sure that when they take a fight, they take it on their terms and when they're ready to play. But when you're kind of playing this farming battle, I don't know if you're going to win against Complexity. So is it pressure on them to kind of pick up the pace and make something happen? or are they just waiting until they have that next big item to do it? Because I just feel like if they just go trade for farm, I don't know if they'll be able to match up against complexity too well.
Yeah, I'm sure they understand they're being outfarmed heavily, but I gotta commend them for not really getting picked off too much from complexity. Like there's the Shadow Blade SF and all that, the Ember Spear. Like there's a lot of ways for them to get picked off if they were more disciplined. But like yeah, there is pressure on them in this game. But I think that it's not even possible. They can't even imagine doing that until PL gets a little bit bigger, actually a lot bigger, and perhaps when he gets to the point where he can like deal serious damage and tank up. That's when they're gonna try to like force some fights. It'll probably be around the next Roche, I guess. That's gonna be pretty significant for them.
We got the smoke conga line happening here. Pass the Dolce on the left-hand side and go bottom lane. Going ahead, Zybra. Hi, how you doing? Jump in chains, follow from Z-Freak. Lucian's there, gets the stun off. Blinks away. Winter's Curse is going to be the last dying breath there from our flying Zebra. Oh, they scout him out with a Remnant? They're going in. Ziz hops in, sees Nusham, pops out the frog, and he's got nowhere to go. Just chain down once more. Swindle picks up that one, now dominating for him. Complexity easily pick apart two. A very good smoke movement to the bottom. We look to Leviathan to see if maybe they're the ones that have to get a bit more proactive, but Complexity show that they're bored farming and trying to just farm race. They're ready to play, and they go bottom. Plus, they know this is a very delicate time. That secondary Roche timer is going to be coming up soon. If they can break down this tier 2, it removes that access point so Leviathan can't easily just TP and get close to the Roche pit. Plus, they get more money. So with that, ooh, no vacuum connection onto Jenkins. He's going to be able to walk away. They still go, though, Fluff, they get their 2 picks, they get their tier 2. They're happy with this, and they walk on out of there.
Yeah, that was a really unexpected play by Complexity. Good play by them. As well as just like, they've been farming the whole game, and Leviathan wouldn't expect them to just group up randomly, and because of that, they get really nice picks, and it could have been a lot worse, honestly. If they maybe picked off the Tinker, then they could have even breached high ground or forced the buyout or something. So, like that, those kind of plays they're making, those are like they're very proactive, very like intelligent, and I like that they're going for those type of plays.
Zephyr going to be clearing out this top lane. Threw together his Agnum Scepter. We'll have that Scream always at the ready to deal with this PL, so they can quickly wipe out the zone and identify their target. Swindle working through a sweet, delicious, juicy stack right here with his buddy Fly. He's got his Butterfly now complete. I'm not seeing an MKB in the foreseeable future here. Shredder, I mean, he does have a good chunk of change, 3K gold, but he's got plenty of other things to worry about. Maybe looking to go into a Heart, I imagine, as a potential option here next. Maybe take himself up, take his illusions. What do you think?
Scotty, it seems.
Scotty? Oh, yeah. Even better. Beef it up, get the extra stats and the slow.
Intelligent pickup by Swindle Melons. Like, you understand the matchup of PL and SF. If you pick up the Battle Fury, it's very awkward for PL to pick up a quick MKB, especially with how long it takes for the Diffusal Manta to come online. You kind of need something to build your HP up.
Okay, Fly. Okay, I mean, Fly's a buff guy. Don't get me wrong, Fluff. I've seen this guy in person. He could probably crush my head, but he's Dazzle in this game, and he's no buff guy. He just walks in. Maybe he knows he's in trouble. He's like, I'm just going to throw off a weave onto Shredder and hope for the best, because he was not near his team. He goes down, just kind of throws himself to the greater gods of Leviathan, and they're going to be able to walk away with a quick snag. So, good pick.
I'm not even sure how he feels that confident to just walk into the jungle by himself.
Did he have wards? He had a ward. Maybe he was hoping to get one down and got caught. That's the risk you take, but if you're able to get that ward down, oh man, it gives your team so much, but sometimes it's just a bit too risky.
Sure, but there's like over an 85–90% chance that Leviathan will be there in stride, because there's no way they're farming anywhere.
I mean, they even have this ward already bottom, so they know they can't really be bottom there. By deduction, I'm sure there's at least three to four Leviathan members in their woods or nearby, so. Oh well, Fly gets a hit for that. Top lane. Ziz safety farming here. Now he plays in more of a passive position. He knows that he just wants to farm from a safe distance. He's got his Battle Fury, so it's going to be coming a lot quicker. I'm sure the crit could come. Hell, if he really wants to take it back to PL, I guess he could just go the double Battle Fury route and just get the extra cleave and extra damage from that. But
5-man smoke.
5-man smoke from Leviathan. They're on the prowl here. Shippy's got that sheep stick you called out for. He's got it. and a blink. Are they going to go right for mid lane here? They lead in with a Winter's Curse. Nushim jumps in. They move on the Z-Freak. He is done for here. They're trying to get a follow-up, maybe on the Swindle. They lead in with the Spirit Lance, but Moon drops down the wall. Finger brings him down pretty low. He's going to be forced to BKB. Dishes out the Requiem. Not the biggest of damage here. Shibby slows down Fly. Now Swindle gets caught out into the cogs here, but oh man, Jenkins and Lion, they just get right-click and box down from Swindle. That is going to cost them their gem. Moon's going to get picked up, and he gets a third. A triple knockout for Swindle Melons here in the mid lane. He just goes man mode there. And Leviathan just in for a rude awakening on that one. He hits like a truck.
That could have been really good for Leviathan had they prioritized their skills a bit differently. Like for the initiation onto the co-op, they could have just used the Lion, open on him, and then save the curse. Like, with Wyvern, you wanna save your ulti for the big fours, like typically the 1 and the 2, the big threats. You want to be able to eliminate them. Blowing it on a support co-op is really just really bad for their team fight, and I think that they actually could have killed the SF there, and it would have been a really big opportunity for them.
It's on them now to defend Fluff, as I like to say. Will they be able to defend? No, the tier 3, they shift in. Swindle quickly get forced out and away from trouble here. Looks like they might be able to defend at least for now. Do you like my arena here? I just imagine we're performing in front of a Coliseum that I've come out to see BTS Americas. And they're Leviathan fans out there, I'm sure. They want them to defend. But nope, Complexity not going to get a whole lot there. They get some good damage in. This tier 3 actually very, very low. And they'll just double back instead. Roche is up. Jenkins already detects it with his rocket. Complexity, they're going in for it. And Leviathan, do they look to stop it here? They have another Winter's Curse. Maybe they look to do a bit of the same as they did before. Will they make it in time, though? Will Complexity even go for it? Maybe they bait it. Looks like they'll just pull away from now.
They certainly can, but they don't really want to have a repeat performance of that first Aegis, so they want to like take a fight outside, and they know that Leviathan feels so pressured to do something about it. Oh man, this could be terrible.
Leviathan. Hi, Jenkins. Boom, bang, bomb. He's gonna have to hookshot the hell away from Swindle. Tries to go towards Ziz. Ziz gonna jump right back onto him. Fly does get blown up. But here comes the Sonic Wave, a bit of an airball there. Not going to connect as good as they'd like, but man, Leviathan sure do hit the deck fast. The second things really hit the fan. Shibby's like, bye. Tries to go, almost gets chains down. And then they clear out the Wyvern there at the end. That's a triple kill for Ziz. Shibby is the lone survivor here. This is getting out of hand very fast. 2 Battle Furies already done. You see the work it does. He's already got 1,300 gold farmed up. Swindle has got a Satanic. This could be game very soon, Fluff.
Yeah, it's sad, but they have to kind of do things like that, even though their lineup doesn't really do well versus Complexity. But it did seem like they kind of jumped the gun there, jumping into them.
Oh, Shibby, trying to be cheeky. Almost got caught, but he's gonna be fine. Shredder shows up, jumps in. Now they only lost a tier 3 here, so they're engaging. Now quickly a Sonic Wave, gonna rid of those illusions. Shredder stuck to go mono-e-mono, but Jenkins shows up to give him a tag team hand. They lock Swindle into a box, try to force Staff away. Cold Embrace keeping alive, but the Rays will finish him off. Swindle now a monster kill streak for him. He is 8-0-4 on this Shadow Fiend. Now he starts right-clicking down this melee racks. Leviathan desperate to try to stop him right here. They start going in, hexing up Ziz, keeping him back. Another hex coming out. A lot of animal hate here. They zap up this little piece of bacon. Ziz looking to walk away, gets the help from Fly with a shallow grave. Lead in stun from Nushim, gets the catch on the Moon. Moon doubling back, has wall in 3 seconds, would love to use it, might not have the mana or the time. Barely alive, able to make it away and gets the Greaves off. Oh man, Complexity really just flirting with the front lines here of Leviathan, seeing if they can just try to end this game out. Ziz gets him burned down with the chains, and they've had enough. They decide now to just step back at this point. Leviathan are just too tenacious of a defense, at least to finish them off right now.
Yeah, and you kind of saw the potential of the Hex there, like over the Dagon. They barely had the Ember survive in that fight, and even in the previous engagements, if a well-placed Hex could have taken on this Embers, and he did go for that squishy double Battle Fury build. He's only sporting like 1,300 HP with 1,400 HP now.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the Dream and Tinker had all the time and all the times he could ask for, a quick double Dagon, a finger and a Dagon to come out, and that Ember could say goodnight, but
Roshan has fallen.
Quick Roche grab. Jenkins jumps in, but he's a little too late to this party. And ow! Oh! Ow! He's dead, Fluff. It only takes about 3 right clicks. Swindle even flexes now a double damage. Oh, man. That's scary. He's a boss.
I like what Ziz did there. He understands that he's not really going to be the main breadwinner for killing the Roshan. His DPS isn't amazing for the right click, so he just goes up and tries to disrupt whatever type of initiation he can. He actually catches the Tinker off, so he can't do anything.
Good catch. BKB's off his DD, but he's happy instead just to right click. Goes for an early wreck, but not going to be connecting. Stun at the last breath there from Nushin, but he ends up going down. They Winter's Curse, not close enough to anyone. Well, I guess Moon's going to try to chop him one time, but that's not going to matter a whole lot. Swindle laughs at that. We'll continue to right click down these racks. Oh! 3 Leviathan get sucked right back from Moon. Z-Freak moves in, but no Sonic Wave follow-up. Not really necessary, though. It's enough to keep them back and away. And KotLGuy are able to finish off the mid set of racks. Now going right for the bottom. They're looking to close out this game number 1. It is a best of 3. Leviathan not out yet. They will be able to have a chance to come back and potentially what could be game number 2 here if KotLGuy do finish this one out. And it's looking like it, Fluff. They're trying their best, though, to kind of keep them back.
Yeah.
Swindle, there's no stopping.
He's tanking through all of it.
He's just like, oh, I don't care. I don't care about machines. I'm just going to right-click this. Don't stop me. But they do move in. What a vacuum. This Wyvern just gets annihilated there. Swindle finishes him off. Helps, of course, from that slide of fist and everything. And Jenkins jumps on in from behind, trying to cog them into the base even further if possible. But he will ultimately, will most likely almost go down. Force out that slippery little bugger makes it up to the high ground. I'm like, what is happening? Well, he makes it back and away, and Swindle goes right back into his demolished position here, and just boom, boom, bang. We'll take down this second set of racks. Not without a fight, though. Leviathan, man, never say die. They look to go back in. Machines being popped. Shivy, though, goes down thereafter. Z-Freak going to be the next target. First Shredder here as he chunks on in. Can he get him? No. Save with the force staff right to the low ground to make it out from trouble. Help from Moon. Ziz is able to kind of clean up the rest of Shredder, and he will go down. That's 2 sets of racks, Fluff. And, well, let's go ahead and get ready. It's going to be game 2 action here. What do we look for Leviathan to do to come back in game number 2? I mean, it's not all draft I would consider in this one. Obviously, KotLGuy feeling a bit more polished, I guess you could say. But is there something that Leviathan maybe try to pull out of their back pocket that can kind of shake up KotLGuy a bit? If there, maybe a pudge, maybe something.
No, not pudge. Well, actually, pudge. No, it can work. Like if you imagine KotLGuy running into you at 5, you hook somebody in and you insta kill them. Like that's very scary. But I mean, I do think it was pretty draft related this game. They did KotLGuy. I disagree that they were a little more polished. I mean, they are the better team undoubtedly, but they were giving Leviathan opportunities that they didn't really need to have. But in the same token, Leviathan was playing pretty well. Like they were being together and not feeding way too many kills. So I think they just need a better draft in game 2.
We'll see if they're going to be able to do it here. So wrapping up game 1, solid performance from KotLGuy. 13-0. Swindle Melon Shadow Fiend certainly helps, but let's go ahead and get ready to hop into Game 2 action. This is BTS Americas, powered by Squarespace, a website where you can easily build up a website just as easy as 1, 2, frickin' 3. I'm KotLGuy. Catch me on my Twitter at KotLGuy, and of course, catch my great co-caster Fluff over on his Twitter at FluffDota. Folks, we'll be back in just a few moments with Game 2 action of KotLGuy going against Leviathan. See you soon.